Ethiopia declares a state of emergency. And from abroad, Nigeria bomb blasts caused deaths at fish markets. Hello viewers, these are the headlines. I'm Addis Ababa. Now the news in detail. The Council of Ministers has declared a state of emergency effective from Friday, 16 February 2018 by adopting the decree providing for the emergency ruling. The Council of Ministers said the emergency rule is aimed at protecting the Constitution and the constitutional order, as well as ensuring security and stability of the country, protecting freedom of movement and the rights of citizens to live wherever they choose, as well as build assets, are also among the motives for the ruling. The Council in its press briefing noted that the violence that have been going on in some areas are undermining the security and stability of the country, as well as the value of the people that promote peaceful coexistence. The violent activities have also led to ethnic-based attacks, which lead to the displacement, deaths, and the injury of people, damage on property, and hindered investments. These violent activities are hurting the economy and put the peaceful and free movement of citizens under caution. The Council said it's important to adopt the decree as the public has requested the government for protection, and dangerous activities have continued to extend in time. The Ethiopian Constitution under Article 93 provides the power for the Council of Ministers to decree a state of emergency in case of external invasion, breakdown of law and order which endangers constitutional order, natural disaster, or an epidemic, or EBC reported. Ethiopia's Defense Minister Siraj Fagesa said the declared state of emergency will remain in effect for 6 months. He briefed the media on the procedures of the decree. Naum Admas reports.
Ethiopian Defense Minister Siraj Fagesa held press conference focusing on the declared state of emergency for the second time. He stated that continuous dispute among people, illegal and unconstitutional activities, destroying investment companies, and other happenings caused the declared state of emergency in the country. Siraj expressed some measurement lists that citizens need to consider. Any activity which can cause dispute, instability, and mistrust among people, either official or secret campaign, providing, publishing, or distributing brochures or publications, showing theaters, symbolic communication, or publicizing message in any means, all prohibited. Any means of communication would be shut or temporarily stopped, possibly for the safety of the people. Any kind of demonstration and group activities prohibited. Anyone who designed, supported, or participated in any activity which is dangerous for the Constitution would be jailed without court statement. The minister disclosed that command posts for the state of emergency are already established. The state of emergency would be led by Prime Minister. The members will be Deputy Prime Minister, Defense Minister, Defense General, National Information Security Agency General Director, and Federal Police Commission Commissioner. Siraj Fagesa told that an investigation board who follows the implementation of the state of emergency would be established with 7 possible members. The Defense Minister announced the duration of the state of emergency. It will be applied for the consecutive 6 months. The state of emergency should be approved by House of People's Representatives in the coming 15 days. It will be continued for the additional 4 months if the House of People's Representatives approved its importance.
The Oromia Agricultural Cooperatives Federation has purchased a Sala malt factory for over 1 billion birr. Latataresa has the story.
Farmers of RC and Bali zones have purchased Asala malt factory at a cost of more than 1 billion birr. Head of the Oromia Cooperatives Union Agency Danyacho Shifaro suggested that the farmers would transfer the factory to brewery through enhancing their participation.
The factory was bought at a cost of 1.3 billion birr. Our farmers who produce barley, whose number is estimated to be more than 1.4 million, if they buy a share of 1,000 birr, it is possible to collect 1.4 billion birr.
Head of the Finance, Procurement and Purchasing as well as Resource Management Department with Oromia Agricultural Cooperatives Federation, Daniel Chona, said his federation has been constructing a food factory at a cost of more than 50 million birr. He said the food factory has the capacity to produce 1,000 quintals of balanced diet a day upon its completion.
Construction of the factory has reached 90%. I hope it would be finalized and begin operation soon.
The purchase of the Asala malt factory would ensure the benefit of the farmers, he underscored.
The news comes to you from OBN, Voice of the People, and here is the news that we have got from abroad. 3 suicide bombers have hit the town of Konduga in northeast Nigeria, killing at least 18 people. 2 attacked a fish market and a third struck nearby, security sources said. Boko Haram jihadists are being blamed for the blasts, though the group has yet to say it was behind them. Boko Haram has killed some 20,000 people and displaced more than 2 million since it began a campaign of violence to create an Islamic State in the north of the country in 2009. The bombers struck on Friday evening in the town, which lies some 30 kilometers, 8 miles southeast of the Borno State capital, Maiduguri. Wider reports of the attack only emerged on Saturday. Some reports speak of 19 dead, 18 civilians and a soldier. At least 50 more were injured. Boko Haram continues to launch attacks in the face of claims by the authorities to have defeated the group. 2 women suicide bombers hit a village near Konduga last month. Dozens of Boko Haram members have convicted in trials held in secret. One of the group's most notorious operations was the kidnap of more than 270 girls from a school in the northeastern town of Chiboko in 2014, the BBC reported. That brings us to the end for this edition. Thank you for watching and have a nice time with the remaining OBN Voice of the People programs.